Good morning, everyone. So, there's this new show on the Peacock Network called American Auto. And I'm 9 episodes in, and I'll just give you my review over it so far. First, I'll start off with the main characters, and then I'll go with like the storyline of the show. So, American Auto, there is a fake car company called Payne Motors. It's based in Detroit, Michigan. I think it might kind of be like similar to Ford just because it's based out of Detroit. But this show follows the. Oh, also, I have my notes here as a little cheat sheet. But it follows the story of an executive team of this auto company when they have their new CEO. So the first CEO is Catherine Hastings. She is from the pharmaceutical company and she knows nothing about cars. She says that on the first episode. Her only goal is to make money. She even says that she doesn't know anything about cars on the pilot. She's obnoxious, self-centered, does not care about the staff, does not care about safety features. She just wants to make money for the company and for herself and keep a job. Next, we have Sadie. She's kind of like the administrative assistant, kind of like the secretary. She's rather soft spoken. There are lots of times where Sadie's at a disadvantage because she does not speak up to herself. Maybe because she's kind of scared about keeping her job. And we're following her journey throughout the show. Next, we have Wesley, who was the heir of Payne Motors. He got his job strictly through nepotism. He makes very inappropriate jokes. Any other job that he worked at, if he was to make these same jokes and these comments, he would have gotten fired, a lawsuit against the company. He got his job only through nepotism, as I mentioned. He'll show up to work now, but he won't do anything productive. He thinks people like him, but they really don't. Next, we have Jack. He is considered the office eye candy. Now, on the pilot episode, Jack starts off on the production floor, and then later we'll find out how he ends up being a part of the management executive team of Payne Motors. Next, we have corporate. That's the best way to put it. Next, we have Doris. She is like the office assistant, similar to a role like Sadie. The best way I can describe her is if you remember Girl Code and Guy Code off of MTV, she gives very strong Nicole Byers vibes. That's just the best way to put it. Next, we have Cyrus. Cyrus is the engineer. He goes directly by the books. He's very straightforward. He's very mechanical about everything that he does. And he doesn't really have a lot of personality. And he's very similar to Elliot, who is the in-house lawyer. Elliot is from Great Britain. I don't know if it was England or Ireland, so I'll just say Great Britain. He tries to be funny, but nobody really likes him. He makes like some jokes. People don't not like him. They just don't think he's that funny. And we'll see his journey throughout the show as well. Now, there are a couple of main storylines that I'd like to mention. So Payne is not doing so well right now, and they're considering finding another CEO. And the CEO, Catherine, as we saw in the last couple of episodes, she's having some issues with her husband, and we're just waiting to see how this plays out if whether people are leaving the company as well. So whether they will get a new CEO or whether Catherine will do something to make her stay. Now, also, before the first episode, it's alluded to the fact that Sadie and Jack is from the production floor, they had a little fling, maybe a one-night stand. And, by the end of the first episode, everybody pretty much figures out what happens. But we see their journey from, just a little fling to, slowly them might actually liking each other. Now, one episode that I just thought was interesting was that Jack, who came from the production floor, he had to go back down to his department. And, because Jack is from the production floor, that blue collar work, he does have that experience and he does bring some of those points of view to the table. Whereas these other people who were in the executive position and corporate the full time might not have that point of view. So what do I rate this show? I'm going to give it a 7.5, and let me explain why. Every show that is new does not have to be revolutionary. It kind of gives me, even though I did not watch that much of it, just like with my sister or something, it gives me kind of like the Office vibes, But every new show does not have to be revolutionary. It does not have to be groundbreaking. It can just be a decent show. Now, why this show is not getting a perfect 10 is because you have to watch it from the first episode to truly understand all the characters and the dynamics that happen throughout the show. Unlike a show like Full House, and don't cancel me for saying this, like The Cosby Show, or, shows like that where you can just watch that episode and kind of gauge where everybody's personality is at and get a gist of the show. You have to really watch the show from the first episode to get all the characters' personality. Like, if I was just to turn on the TV and just turn onto this show, I would not really understand what is happening in the development between all the characters. So the show is definitely worth checking out, though. It's not necessarily maybe an Emmy Award winning show, but it's definitely something that, if you have some spare time on TV, is worth checking out. So feel free to like and comment on this video and let me know if you have seen if you have seen American Auto and what you think about it.